The Galactic Council chamber was never silent. There was always noise. Different species argued in different tones. Some hissed. Some clicked. Some spoke through machines. But on that day, the noise stopped in a single second. Every screen went black. The stars outside the giant glass wall still burned quietly, but inside the chamber, all light from the data panels vanished. Even backup systems failed. For the first time in modern history, the Council had no control over its own technology. A low hum filled the air. Then one line of text appeared on the central display. Earth is ready. No symbol. No flag. No threat. Just those 3 words. Ambassador Kelvorn of the Arcturian Union leaned forward. His voice trembled. Ready for what? No one answered. Far from the Council's core worlds, beyond the orbit of Pluto, hidden behind layers of frozen rock and silent defense grids, something ancient and massive began to move. For decades, Earth had played a careful role in galactic politics. They joined alliances but never led them. They fought small wars but never started them. Their fleets were strong, but not the strongest. Many races believed humans were clever traders and stubborn soldiers, nothing more. Some believed humanity was afraid of true power. They were wrong. Deep inside an asteroid belt that no civilian ship was allowed to enter, giant metallic plates shifted for the first time in 70 years. Dust that had not moved in decades scattered into space. Sensors across nearby systems detected a gravitational disturbance. At first, it looked like a star glitch. Then it grew. Admiral Korvax of the Virelian Empire stared at his tactical display. His claws tightened against the edge of the console. That mass cannot be natural, he whispered. More data came in. Energy output rising. Reactor levels beyond military limits. Shield signatures unknown to any known database. Then the object fully emerged from the asteroid cover. It was not a station. It was not a moon. It was a ship. 900 kilometers long. Its surface was dark, almost black, but lines of blue light slowly activated across its hull like veins waking under skin. Massive engine structures rotated into position. Thousands of smaller ports opened along its sides. And it was still powering up. Across the galaxy, private networks flooded with the same question. How did we not know? Inside Earth's own command center, Captain Elias Ward stood silently on a raised platform, watching the launch sequence. Around him, officers worked calmly. No shouting. No panic. Status, he asked. Core reactors stable. Outer shield grid online. Drone bays unlocked. Every word was clear. Every action prepared years in advance. This was not a rushed response. This was a plan. Back in the council chamber, systems finally came back online, but the humans now controlled the main channel. A live image replaced the message. The massive vessel filled the screen. It dwarfed nearby defense ships as if they were insects. A quiet human voice echoed through every speaker. For 70 years, Earth prepared in silence. We asked for unity. We warned of signals from deep space. You chose debate. The image zoomed out. The scale became even more terrifying. We chose action. The engines ignited. Space around the vessel bent slightly, light curving as if reality itself respected its power. Shockwaves rolled through nearby asteroid fields without destroying them, controlled, precise. Admiral Korvax felt something unfamiliar. Fear. Not fear of attack. Fear of being unprepared. The ship began moving toward open space. No escorts. No fleet beside it. Just one impossible supercarrier, leaving hiding. In the council chamber, no one spoke. Because for the first time, they understood something simple and terrifying. Humanity had never been weak. Humanity had been waiting. The supercarrier did not rush into battle. It moved slowly, almost calmly, as if it had all the time in the universe. Across the galaxy, military analysts tried to measure it again and again, hoping the first readings were wrong. They were not. The vessel was real. Its power levels were real. And its construction design was unlike anything known. It had no visible weak points. Its hull was layered in shifting plates that adjusted position every few seconds. Its shield grid did not pulse like normal shields. It flowed like liquid light across its surface. The name finally appeared in the human database. HES Titan. Humanity's emergency shield. That name alone made the Council uneasy. Inside the Galactic Council archives, sealed human files were suddenly unlocked. Decades of restricted data became public. The Council had demanded answers. Humanity had decided to show them. 72 years ago, Earth detected a signal from outside mapped space. It was not a greeting. It was not random noise. It was structured. Repeating. Cold. Every 20 years, the signal grew stronger. Humans shared the data. The Council dismissed it. Background radiation. Ancient satellite remains. Sensor error. But Earth did not ignore patterns. While the galaxy expanded trade routes and argued over territory, humanity began Project Titan. Piece by piece, it was built in secret. One nation built engines. Another built shield cores. Another built AI systems. Old enemies on Earth signed peace agreements not because they trusted each other, but because the threat beyond the stars was greater. For the first time in human history, global defense budgets were shared. The supercarrier was not built in one place. It was built everywhere. Then it was assembled in silence beyond Pluto. Back in the present, Titan crossed the outer boundary of the Sol system. Its engines left controlled distortion trails behind it. Hundreds of smaller internal systems powered online. Drone swarms tested formation patterns. Long-range cannons aligned. Defense satellites automatically moved to escort positions, but Titan did not slow down. It did not need protection. In the Council chamber, tension grew heavier by the minute. Then it happened. Outer Rim monitoring stations reported something strange. At first, it looked like empty space. Then stars began disappearing. Not exploding. Vanishing behind something moving in perfect formation. Multiple objects. Large. Cold. Unknown fleet detected. The same repeating signal that humanity discovered decades ago was now broadcasting clearly. Stronger than ever. The Council froze. The invaders were real. And they were entering mapped space. Panic spread quickly. Fleets were ordered to defensive positions. Border worlds sent distress calls before any shots were fired. The unknown ships were not scanning. They were not communicating. They were advancing. Inside Titan's command bridge, Captain Elias Ward listened to updated reports without changing expression. Estimated arrival to first colony, he asked. 8 hours, an officer replied. Time to intercept? Ward asked. 6 hours. A small nod. Then we move. Titan increased speed. For the first time, its full engine output activated. Space bent harder around its hull. Shockwaves rippled across nearby debris fields. Across the galaxy, billions of eyes watched a single human ship move toward an enemy fleet that had erased entire civilizations beyond known borders. No speeches. No threats. Just action. In the Council chamber, Ambassador Kelvorn whispered, "They knew." Another ambassador answered quietly, "They prepared." Titan left the safety of human space and crossed into the dark between systems. Alone. Ahead, the unknown fleet continued forward without fear. Behind them, the galaxy finally understood the truth. Earth had not revealed its secret supercarrier to impress anyone. It revealed it because the shadow they had warned about for 70 years had finally arrived. And now, humanity was going to meet it first. The distance between Titan and the unknown fleet closed slowly. No messages were exchanged. No warnings were sent. The enemy ships moved in perfect formation, black and silent. They had no visible engines, yet they crossed space without effort. Their surfaces reflected no light. Even long-range scanners struggled to lock onto them. It was as if they were shadows shaped like warships. Inside Titan's bridge, the atmosphere remained controlled. Officers worked with steady hands. Holographic displays showed enemy vectors, weapon ranges, and projected impact zones. Enemy fleet count confirmed, a sensor officer said. 300 primary vessels. Unknown number of support units. Captain Elias Ward looked at the main screen. The enemy formation was wide and deep, built for destruction, not defense. Any change in signal pattern? He asked. No, sir. Still repeating the same pulse. The same pulse humanity had heard 70 years ago. A warning. Or a claim. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, fleets from different species gathered at a safe distance. None dared move closer. They watched through live feeds, their strongest warships standing by but not advancing. They had faced pirates. They had faced rebel coalitions. They had faced border wars. But this was different. The unknown fleet did not show fear. It did not adjust formation when Titan approached. It did not react at all. Then, without warning, the first enemy vessel fired. There was no bright beam. No visible missile. Space itself twisted, and a wave of pure force shot toward Titan. The impact hit the forward shield grid. For a moment, silence. Then Titan's shields flared with deep blue light. The entire structure absorbed the blast. Energy rippled across the hull but did not break through. Bridge systems flickered once, then stabilized. Shield integrity at 92%, the defense officer reported calmly. Ward nodded once. Return minimal response. Minimal. Titan's main forward cannon rotated into position. It did not glow. It did not charge loudly. It simply aligned. A single focused beam of white light fired across space. It struck the nearest enemy vessel. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then the black ship split cleanly in half. Both sections drifted apart, lifeless. Across the galaxy, observers froze. One shot. One kill. The enemy fleet reacted instantly. Formation shifted. Hundreds of dark ships moved into attack patterns. This time, multiple distortions appeared at once. Titan's shields absorbed impact after impact. Blue light flashed across its surface like lightning trapped under skin. Shields at 84%. Drone wings ready. Launch, Ward ordered. Thousands of small strike craft burst from Titan's side ports. They moved with coordinated precision, forming defensive screens around the supercarrier. Enemy ships attempted to target the drones. The drones adapted. They changed angles mid-flight, predicting movement before it happened. Inside Titan's core, its combat AI processed enemy patterns in real time. It was not reacting randomly. It was learning. The battle intensified. Several drones were destroyed, but for every loss, 3 more repositioned. Titan's secondary weapons activated, rapid-fire beams slicing through enemy hulls with controlled bursts. 5 enemy ships fell. Then 10. Still, the main formation did not retreat. At the center of the Dark Fleet, something massive began to move forward. It was larger than Titan. 3 times wider. Its surface was layered in jagged armor. Unlike the others, this ship emitted a faint red glow from deep internal chambers. Enemy flagship identified, a bridge officer whispered. Across Council observation decks, fear spread openly now. If that vessel matched Titan's power, the battle could turn quickly. The massive black flagship moved ahead of its fleet and aimed directly at Titan. For the first time, Captain Ward leaned slightly forward. "Prepare Phase 2, he said quietly. Behind Titan's armored hull, hidden compartments began to unlock. The galaxy had just seen what humanity revealed. They had not yet seen what humanity had kept hidden even from that reveal. And as the enemy flagship powered its weapons, the real test was about to begin. The enemy flagship moved like a living mountain of metal. It did not rush. It did not hesitate. It simply advanced, pushing smaller ships aside as if they were debris. Its red internal glow pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. On Titan's bridge, every screen focused on that single target. "Energy levels rising," the sensor officer said. "Charging unknown primary weapon." Across the galaxy, Allied fleets held position. No one moved forward. No one wanted to trigger whatever came next. The flagship fired. This time, the attack was visible. A massive red beam tore across space, twisting light around it. When it struck Titan, the impact shook the supercarrier from end to end. For the first time, warning lights flashed. Shields at 60%. Several drone squadrons were erased instantly. Even so, Titan did not fall back. Captain Elias Ward remained steady. Phase 2. Execute. Deep inside Titan's structure, sealed sections opened. But no large weapon emerged. Instead, hundreds of compact carriers launched from internal bays. Each one smaller than a cruiser but heavily armored. They spread outward in layered formation. From them, something unexpected deployed. Boarding pods. The galaxy watched in confusion. "Are they attempting to board that?" an alien admiral whispered in disbelief. The enemy flagship fired again. Another devastating beam struck Titan. Shield levels dropped further. 48%. Still, Titan held position. The smaller human carriers accelerated, using Titan as cover. They moved with perfect timing, avoiding energy waves by fractions of seconds. The combat AI inside Titan had already mapped the flagship's firing cycle. Timing was everything. As the flagship prepared its third blast, human carriers launched dozens of boarding pods directly toward it. The enemy vessel attempted to intercept. Too slow. The pod slammed into its surface. Magnetic clamps locked into dark armor. Plasma torches began cutting entry points. For the first time, the red glow inside the flagship flickered unevenly. Inside Titan, Ward gave a calm order. "Deploy internal strike teams." Through the secure channel, elite human boarding units reported in. They had trained for this mission for years. Not to destroy ships. To capture mines. Minutes passed in heavy silence as Titan endured another wave of attacks. Shields dropped to 32%. Armor plating heated under continuous impact. Then. "Boarding successful," a voice reported from inside the enemy flagship. Gunfire echoed through the channel. Strange metallic screams followed. The alien flagship began drifting slightly off course. Its weapon charge halted. Across observation networks, silence deepened. The unknown fleet had never shown weakness before. Entire civilizations had fallen without resistance. Now, something had changed. Inside the flagship, human teams moved fast. They disabled power nodes. They cut through central control systems. They planted charges with precise timing. Core chamber located. Extraction in 2 minutes. On Titan's bridge, Ward did not smile. "Prepare for detonation wave," he said. Human carriers pulled back. Boarding pods disengaged. For a brief moment, the battlefield froze. Then the enemy flagship exploded from within. Not in one massive blast, but in controlled internal ruptures. Its red glow shattered into fragments of burning light. The giant black structure broke apart, collapsing inward before scattering into debris. The remaining enemy fleet reacted instantly. For the first time, their formation broke. They turned. They retreated. Across every council channel, shock replaced fear. They had expected a desperate defense. They had witnessed dominance. Titan's shields were low. Its drones were damaged. But it still stood firm in open space while the invaders fled beyond mapped territory. On the bridge, an officer spoke softly. Enemy fleet withdrawing. Ward nodded once. Do not pursue. Mark their retreat path. As Titan slowly turned, facing the direction the enemy had escaped, the galaxy finally understood something clear. Humanity did not reveal its supercarrier to scare anyone. It revealed it because when the darkness finally arrived, humanity intended to push it back. And if necessary, follow it home. The battlefield grew quiet. Fragments of the destroyed flagship drifted like broken planets. Faint fires burned across its shattered hull pieces before fading into cold metal. Titan remained in place, its massive structure scarred but unbroken. Shield levels were low. Several drone bays were empty. Sections of armor were blackened from repeated impact. But it was still standing. Across the galaxy, no one spoke. The enemy fleet had retreated beyond the outer border of mapped space. Long-range scanners tracked their withdrawal, but none of the Council fleets dared to chase them. They did not need to. Titan began moving again. Not toward Earth. Toward the darkness. In the Galactic Council chamber, confusion returned. They won, Ambassador Kelvorn said quietly. Why are they not returning home? Data streams opened from Earth's command network. This time, there was no dramatic message. No interruption of systems. Just a calm transmission. Threat neutralized. Source remains active. We will confirm elimination. Murmurs spread through the chamber. They are following them. They cannot risk further damage. They already risked everything. Inside Titan's bridge, repair crews moved quickly. Damaged drone units were replaced from internal reserves. Secondary shields began restoring strength. Engineering teams reported structural stability across all major sections. Captain Elias Ward stood before the main viewport. The broken remains of the enemy flagship drifted behind them like a warning sign to the universe. Distance to retreat vector, he asked. 2 hours at current speed, an officer replied. Ward gave the order. Increase output to 70%. Titan's engines flared brighter than before. The distortion around its hull deepened, bending starlight into thin arcs. Across multiple systems, billions of beings watched as the human supercarrier crossed the boundary of safe space without hesitation. For generations, the unknown fleet had destroyed civilizations that never understood what was attacking them. No communication. No mercy. Now, for the first time, someone was chasing them. Inside Council tactical rooms, projections ran quickly. If the humans pushed too far, they could be isolated. If Titan falls, Earth falls. One older strategist spoke slowly. If Titan falls, we fall. They were the only ones prepared. That truth settled heavily in the room. Humanity had not asked for control. They had not demanded leadership. They had simply prepared when others refused to listen. As Titan entered the darker region beyond mapped space, the repeating signal grew louder. Clearer. But something about it had changed. It was no longer steady. It was irregular. Unstable. On Titan's bridge, analysts compared current readings to the 70-year-old original transmission. It's different, the communications officer said. Signal amplitude is fluctuating. Ward's eyes narrowed slightly. Damage to their command structure? Possible. The enemy had never expected resistance strong enough to strike their core ship. Now their signal was broken. Uncertain. For the first time, the hunters felt pressure. Behind Titan, far across safe space, Earth transmitted a final public message to the galaxy. We did not build Titan for war. We built it so war would not reach you. There was no celebration. No victory parade. Just a single human ship disappearing into deep space. The council chamber remained silent long after the feed ended. Not silent because of fear. Silent because of understanding. For decades, many had seen humans as emotional, divided, unpredictable. They were right. Humans were emotional. They remembered fear. They remembered loss. And they built something powerful enough to make sure they would not feel it again. As Titan vanished into the darkness, one thought spread quietly through the galaxy. Earth had revealed its secret supercarrier. And when the moment came, the galaxy did not question humanity's strength again. It respected it. In complete and total silence.